Hey Gloamers, it's I, SmMarley. Thank you for tuning in into the premiere episode of the Conspiral Theory podcast. It's a real simple format. Think thought experiment meets conspiracy. No, better yet, conspiracy resistance. No, I think that would be more accurate. Yeah, a resistance. You'll kind of understand more as I go along. So that being said, a little about me. I'm just a guy that reports the post-truth truthfully. If you can wrap your mind around that bullshit for just a second longer, you kind of need that mindset when we begin to talk about what it is that I've found here. So let's get started. All right, there's this real weird-ass poem I read the other day. It's from a real old anthology of myths called Orion's Tradition. I don't know from when or where it comes from, but I picked through a box of old books and found just the craziest collection of myths. Maybe they're Gaelic or I don't know. I'm looking at it now. And the only real identifying mark is on the back. It's really worn out. Inverseness maybe? Yeah. So it's got all these really cool story myths, and I thought that, like Disney had all of them and like rolled them out as they needed. But these were kind of eye-opening, one-eyed open while balancing on a triangle. I mean, they can be explained with things happening around us today. So I just started reading these, and I kind of just applied a little current logic to it, and well, here, we'll get into it a little bit here. So, old anthology of myths called Orion's Tradition. And it really starts like, here, I'm just going to read it. It's not long. It's four triplet stanzas, looks like. 3, so it's only like 12 lines, guys. But anyway. So it begins, once there was a little bear that ran unto the lions. And that's just in quotes, so I don't know what they're talking about there. But then the title of this particular poem is A Tradition is Belief. I thought at first it said believe because the typeset, the font is kind of wonky. But it says a tradition is belief. So I'm like, okay, is this like religious? I wasn't ready to really read any religion at that particular time. So but I still gave it a chance. I was like, okay, well, tradition is belief. What are they talking about? All right. I'll read this once through, and then I can break it up. If you'd be so kind and honor me with your attention. So a tradition is belief. So it says, to the unbeliever is in quotes, so a person that is known as the unbeliever. A tradition is not of trust, but of trusting, that Tristan be that mortal outcry, and then outcry is in quotations, be that it be. So it kind of has this repeating structure. I'll just read it through a little bit quicker now. To the believe me, a tradition is not trust, nor outs, O-U-T apostrophe S, like outs, lie. So to the believe me, a tradition is not trust, nor outs lie. That tradition be that outs, lions call. Be that it be. Sounds like be that it be just means here, take my word for it. Or I was thinking about it this way, be that it be is just like, let it be commanded. These myths are pretty old and tie back to belief in divinity, so I can get that, be that it be. So that's the way I've been playing around with it, just kind of looking at the words here and getting back. But this is when it gets kind of strange. So then it says to be forgotten, again, forgotten as a type of person, I guess. To be forgotten, a tradition of memory begins. So tradition is, tradition kind of fades, is what I'm guessing. And because tradition was once a belief, as those traditions, and therefore those beliefs, I guess, get forgotten, a tradition of memory begins. So this is, hopefully, I guess these traditions, these beliefs, these memories, are actually separate from the memory, the traditions and beliefs. Just kind of hope that they're ingrained in us, like the stories our grandmother told us, or something that we heard when we were child. I can still remember some of those that I read, so I think that's what it means. Well, anyway, so to be forgotten, a tradition of memory begins, the belief be recycled among us. So, yeah, memory comes around, takes what's left of that forgotten tradition, that forgotten belief, and kind of sprinkles it all on us and hopes that we still remember some of those myths from the past. So be that it be, as said once again. And then finally, it's just the last little stanza here. To the sum of those remainders, so which probably means remnants, that the awakened, now this is a new type of person that we haven't heard about here, that's the awakened, solemnly swear, be that it be. And then it's just signed Indigo Marley. All right. Honestly, I ran a check on that name, and I don't know what year this was published, but there's just no record of that. So, but anyway, all right. So anyway, just getting back to that anthology of myths. That one's called Orion's Tradition. All right, just kind of fast forwarding through my process of digesting this. I'm not going to make you guys digest it while you're listening to me. That's crazy. So I've done it ahead of time, and I was just thinking completely wide on this one. Just all the way wide, all options accepted. So I was kind of rolling through my thoughts. Thus, it became a thing again among all of us, as memory must pass. Okay, so that being that thing among us, the little shards of memory are granted to us. However, this indicates maybe that memory must pass away, or has passed away, which would mean nobody's getting sprinkled with any more beliefs or traditions. So I was like, okay, talk more to me about this. I was like, okay, it would seem only appropriate to see it this way, as there are fewer and fewer memories as this timekeeper's virus goes around. Just something I've kind of been thinking about, that you kind of just look at it as losing your memories, or Alzheimer's, or these, senility, these types of things. And that has allowed so we're losing it at the same time. People are dying off memories. People that have maybe access to older myths, they're unable to share them right now. But out here with the current virus, how How different is that from older populations getting hit, and of the, what is it, 3 million to date now, 3 million plus that have passed away, a very large percentage of those have been older persons. So it's quite literal. It's figurative speech, but it quite literally could have some bearing on what we're talking about here today in today's times. So that's kind of where my thought my thought process took me. I'd be interested to see if you guys have anything interesting to reply. There's there's also some other really bigger issues in there, which was let me scroll back up to here. Like, what the hell is the lion's call? I don't want any type of lion's call on any range, mythical or real, because if anything that I thought is kind of true in those terms, maybe that's what this myth is kind of like crying for. Just a lot in there to pull apart. The part about the mortal outcry, people crying that are unbelievers. Sure, unbelievers tend to cry out that they don't believe, just as all other mortals, must choose that one or to outcry because you do believe. Okay, I see that. Okay, so tradition is one way of holding on to that belief, whether you believe in it or not. The tradition will carry it. So it's kind of a system where you just don't have to worry about unbelievers. Tradition will carry it along. So when you lose those traditions, then it becomes kind of problematic, at least in this little way that I've read this crazy little poem here. But the first stanza kind of rings true in my ears. So I'm going to go on to the next one, which was that phrase about the lion's call. So to the people that say, believe me, and I'm going to guess that's trust, because the unbeliever is a tradition of not of trust, but of trusting. So now we have this character, believe me, and that's a tradition, is not trust or outs lie. Oh, that makes sense. That tradition be that outs lying call. All right, so the believe me is like some guy that can just say, listen, maybe unbelievers or even believers, listen, I know what's going on here. Believe me. Kind of car salesman, I guess, because that's not trust, but but it's a lie, maybe. I don't know, or I guess it doesn't matter because this is not a lie. But then that tradition be that new tradition that came out of this would be that of a lion's call. All right, so between tradition and a break in tradition, a lion's call. Okay, be that it be. Okay, I'm just going to accept it like these guys must have. To be forgotten, a tradition of memory begins that belief be recycled among us. Okay, be that it may be. Okay, so we got a lion's call coming in the next episodes here. So I need some time to think about that one. I need to get into what this forgotten character is about. But like I said, it's really dense material for 12 lines. So kind of one of the reasons I really enjoy myth, because it is so condensed. It just seems like the older, or the younger rather, that humanity was at the time that they came up with the stories, they just used less words and were more central to the core of what those words actually meant. And yeah, we could talk about that as well in the future here. So now I think I might save that for next time. All right. Yeah. All right. I think the next one we're going to read is called the Diamonds Minor. Diamonds Minor. Minor. Yes, minor. Like minor, like a MINER. Diamonds Minor. All right. Well, thanks again for tuning in to the premiere episode of Conspiral Theory. Appreciate any comments that you leave. Any kind of interaction would be great. Pass on the word if you're just tired of those regular conspiracies, because we're gonna